What's going on, everybody, and welcome on into episode 262 of the Garage Beers podcast, coming to you live here on the OBR streaming network. The OBR is the best place in Cleveland for all of your Cleveland Browns coverage, and then it's your best place in Cleveland to come hang out with us on Garage Beers every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock live, where we talk about all things Browns, but we also talk about the Cavs, the Guardians, the Blue Jackets, the Buckeyes, and so much more. So welcome on into episode 262. Make sure you go follow the OBR on the socials at the OBR, and make sure you get over to theobr.com and you subscribe over there as well. With you as always, I am Michael Keefe at Garage Beers Mike, and joining me eventually, Chad was on, but he's not here right now because he just texted me that his internet died as soon as the video went live. So he'll be on in a second. Joey will be on in a little bit, but we'll get going with episode 262, and we'll get started with the good stuff right off the bat. We have got a lot to get to here on episode 262. A little bit later in the show, we'll talk about this crazy game going on with the Cavaliers right now as they try to even this series against the Pacers, and what a game that they have had without many of their superstars. But right now in the fourth quarter, they still have the lead, so we'll see if they can close it out. We will talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs. I really want to dive into this with Chad and Joey a little bit later, as the Stanley Cup playoffs have been amazing. We've got the Guardians in the back-to-back part of a doubleheader, and we've got all that to get to and so much more a little bit later in the show. But we're going to kick things off. First things first here on the show, and we're going to send it right in to an interview that Chad and I did with one of the newest Cleveland Browns. If you paid attention after the draft and you paid attention to the undrafted free agent market, then you will see that one of the very first names that the Cavaliers picked up was Donovan McMillon, the safety out of Pitt. And this kid is trying to be a dog, trying to be the newest dog in the dog pound. So I'm going to send it right off as we let Chad and Joey get in here for the rest of the show. I'm going to send it off to the interview we did with Donovan McMillon, and then we will be back with more. So stay tuned. Enjoy the conversation with Donovan McMillon, and we'll talk to you afterwards. Here it goes. We are with one of the newest Cleveland Browns, and I can't wait to dive into this because it's a great story. And from all the reports that we read, the Cleveland Browns appear to have gotten themselves a dog after the draft as they picked up the safety out of Pitt. He joins us now. It's Donovan McMillon. Donovan, the newest Cleveland Brown, man. How's it feel to just hear that over and over and over again, that you're a Cleveland?
Yeah, like we were just talking about before we got on recording. I can't wrap my head around it, but it's an amazing feeling. I can't wait to, get to the land, get to Cleveland. I leave on Thursday, and it'll be real surreal for me, but I can't wait to put them pads on and helmet on and get to playing.
Dude, man, it's like, so we're gonna get to your football journey here in a second, but you're a Midwest guy. You're a steel belt guy, right? Born in McMurray, Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Grew up there. I mean, like, was the love of football always there? I mean, it had to be. Or where does that come from?
Yeah, for sure. So my love of football, literally ever since I can remember. So my dad was he played football at West Virginia Wesleyan College. He was an offensive lineman, and he ended up playing semi-pro arena football. So he was throwing dudes over the wall and everything. So yeah, but so my uncle, he was a really good football player as well. He played at UCF as well. And my grandpa, he actually was on the practice squad for the Miami Dolphins back in the 70s. So it's kind of been in my family. But literally ever since I can remember, like, my dad's had the TV on playing football. Like, I've been playing football since I was 7, 8 years old. Something funny you guys should know, I can never watch a football game in live. I know all of my friends are always texting me during the game. I literally can't read my phone because my dad's always 3-4 plays behind. I was talking about, like, you seen that coverage they ran, or did you see that tackle pull? Like, what are you doing here? I'm like, Dad, like, they just scored a touchdown and my friends ruined it, but we're on the second down on the 40-yard line. Like, what are we doing? So, but no, the love of the game for me has been literally ever since I can remember. So it's grew and grew and grew from age 5 on to where I'm at right now. So
I can just see your dad, a former offensive lineman, being like, what do you mean 6'1", 200 pounds?
Yeah, right.
You're not going to be able to play offensive line.
Yeah, he realized that whenever he's like, okay, you're fast. And you're tall and skinny rather than wide and powerful. So
we got to figure something else out here. Yeah.
So listen, again, Chad said we're going to go through the whole journey, but it's the thing that I've just been wondering all day long, and I can't wait to hear your answer to this, because you had the journey, you finally made your way to Pitt, you were a Panther, and you played your home games at that stadium, Donovan. You played your home games at that stadium, and now you're going to be going back. You're going to be going back every year to that stadium that you made such a name for yourself in, with those gross yellow seats on the banks of the river there in Pittsburgh. And you're going to be going back to that stadium as a member of the Cleveland Browns, man. Like, if I were you, it probably would have been one of the first things I thought of, was like, oh man, I'm coming back here to play with the Browns. Are you kidding me? Like, have you thought about it a little bit? Have you let yourself daydream about it a little bit?
Yeah. So you putting that out there, I really haven't thought about it, to be honest with you. And here's the reason why, to back it up. Like, so my whole life, obviously being from Pittsburgh, my entire family, so my mom's side of the family, are all diehard Steeler fans. But I was like, I've never been a team fan. Like, I love players and I love great games. I never got myself into, obviously when I was younger, like I was, excited whenever they won the Super Bowl versus Arizona. But then ever since then, I was like never a true like black and gold fan, So, and it's even crazier because Pitt, we don't have our own stadium, so it was just funny how we got to play in the same stadium. But no, I haven't got a really chance to really daydream about it. It's going to be amazing. I know that I know we only get 2 free tickets. After that, we got to pay for them. I just know my whole check's going to be probably 30 family members for that game. So I got to get my pockets ready for that one. So
yeah, you better start saving now. Huh?
Oh yeah. I'm so excited for that moment. It's definitely going to be full circle, and nothing like taking a pick six back versus the hometown, and I don't know, I'm gonna hear more boos or claps, or probably family members cussing me out. So
and you take a pick six back in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, you're going to be able to hear the city of Cleveland from Pittsburgh.
I love that.
So let's start again. Born in Pennsylvania, like we said. You ended up going to Florida. What was that first recruitment trip like? What made you decide Florida at first?
Yeah, so I was a lot of people don't know, I was a COVID commit. So like,
Okay.
everything, all hell broke loose. Like, it was the weirdest time ever.
Yeah.
So when I was going through the whole process, I obviously I got recruited late, so I didn't start getting really recruited. I got my first offer middle of the way / end of my junior season, and then I end up getting 53 more offers after that. So it kind of really blew.
No big deal. Brush your shoulder off there, pal.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it really blew up like that January and February, and then I was wrestling at the same time. So I'm a wrestler as well. I had placed second in the state in PA. The best state to wrestle in, Pennsylvania. And then a week later is when everything shut down. Oh yeah, I guess you guys can compete. I guess Ohio's up there.
A little bit. Come on now.
Ohio's up there, but PA is like there's stats to that. That's the spot,
dude. Chad, were you arguing that? I was going to let you get away with that. I don't know if Ohio.
Have you ever heard of a little school called St. Edward? Thank you very much.
Oh, the wrestling is amazing, but I used to whoop up on Ohio guys all the time. Like,
I understand.
I was letting you have that. I was going to let you have that.
I
just had to talk a little shit. That's all.
Right. It's not a football thing whatsoever. But Penn State always beats Ohio State in wrestling, so it's like,
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Right.
That's fine.
Yes. Right. So I was getting recruited heavy. I planned a bunch of official visits, and then the country shut down. So that was recruiting as well. So I was like, okay, we got to figure out this process, because I had all these teams on my top 5 and top 10 lists, and I've never been to any of them. And the coaches aren't there. The facilities are closed. So my family and I came up with a plan to go to my top 3 schools, and kind of just go like walk the campus, walk the city, look in the windows, try to see where I'd be working out with. We ended up flying to College Station to check out A&M. We flew out. That's awesome. Was that a ring? Okay.
I'm an Aggie.
Okay, there you go. And then we ended up driving to both Virginia Tech and Florida. And Florida, I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the place. I was getting recruited by Coach Mullen and Coach Ron English. I love their plan for me. I ended up committing in June, or no, silently committing in June, making it official in July, signing in December, and then a few weeks later, Coach English got fired. So I was like, dang. So I never got to meet English in person, which is crazy. So
Oh,
then going in, playing all 13 games my freshman year. No red shirt, no nothing. No regrets. Had the most fun ever. Like it was really a big moment for me whenever I was running down the opening kickoff and like hitting who did I hit? It was like Jameson Williams. And
oh shit.
I looked to my right and I'm like, oh, that's Nick Saban. Like this is crazy. Like this is this is awesome. It's awesome. Like, oh, I'm really doing it. So that happened. And then it was a rough season. We went 6-7. Coach Miller got fired. Whole staff got fired a few weeks later. And then Coach Napier came in. And Coach Tony, and it was another year where we were up and down. I ended up co-starting my last game of the season for Florida State, playing well. Ended up getting Special Teams Player of the Year that year for Florida.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And then I was really at a really fork in the road. I can come back my junior year, really compete for that starting job with back-to-back 6-7 teams. I've already had 3 DB coaches at that time, and Napier was almost on the chopping block at that point. So I'm like, what should I do? So like my family and I thought it was the best to hit the portal, and we ended up making that choice. And 2 days later, Coach Narduzzi and Coach Sanders were in my Gainesville apartment, and kind of the rest was history after that. So,
man, Gainesville, that's a wild place.
I don't know
that I
crazy.
can remember.
Oh,
I don't know that I can remember
pretty
all the
interesting.
fun I don't know that I can
Yeah.
remember all the fun that I've had in Gainesville, but I know I've had a lot of fun in Gainesville, Florida. But playing in the swamp, man, wild. But that had to have been so special for you, man. Just the side of it, coming home, coming back to Pennsylvania, being in the place where you grew up, and padding up for the Pitt Panthers, man. I don't know that you grew up a Pitt Panthers fan. You said you weren't really a team guy, anyways. But just to play in your home state, represent a Pittsburgh team, man, we will give you credit for representing that Pittsburgh team because we're okay with them.
Well, I appreciate that.
That first time you suited up and went out and you played, and I'm sure you had a bunch of family and stuff there, had to have been just a real special moment for you.
Oh, definitely. So my family always tried to make it to as many Florida games as they can, but like other than my friends that were on campus, or like there was, I only had 2-3 friends flying in to watch. But then like when I played at Pitt, it was like, yeah, I need like 30 tickets every game. So I'm like, yo, like I can get some from you, get some from him, and like our family section was deep. Like it was 1-2 rows of just all my my childhood best friends, my family from all around, and it was definitely an amazing moment. And like I said, I'm excited to do it again, but playing for the opposite now.
Was it always Pitt, or did you did anybody else come close, or was it like, no, I want to go home, I want my family to be able to come?
Yeah, so it's crazy. The whole family thing, there was nothing in my like plan to come home was from there. Like there was nothing that I was like, oh, I'm coming home because the family. Basically, I went through. I'm trying to think of the schools I was thinking about going. I was thinking about going West Coast for a little bit. I was thinking like USC or Oregon.
Okay,
that's as at that time with the Pac-12.
Yeah,
I was like, I need to go play defense somewhere. So, and then
definitely not the Big 12 either. So I got to stay on the East.
Yeah, I was really thinking like maybe Nebraska or Minnesota, but there was kind of, I wanted to go to somewhere where like the defense and the coach has been there consistently. And then, looking at Coach Narduzzi and Coach Sanders' like resume of what they've gotten into the NFL as just the defensive back standard, from like DeMar Hamlin, MJ Devonshire, Jordan Whitehead, Brandon Hill, Eric Hallett, like the list goes on and on. And Coach Narduzzi, yes, sir. And Coach Narduzzi been there 10 years. Their defense is literally set up for safety production. So it was a no-brainer to go to Pitt and go play on their defense.
Man, from your situation in Florida to that first year in Pitt, because you played 2 years in Pitt and you were up over 100 tackles both years. You really have built a name for yourself coming into this whole draft situation and making it into your pro career as a guy that likes to fly to the football, as a physical tackler, and as a guy who isn't just like a one-sided safety. But when you saw the role you were taking on in Pitt, because it was like immediate, like 2023 hit and you were immediately just like a big impact player on that defense. Just, I guess, talk about the difference, I guess, as like a 20-year-old kid who just all of a sudden it's like, oh, now I'm out there every play defensively, where you were really having to like fight for your playing time at Florida and make a name for yourself. When you're out there,
it's one thing you can pause it. I'm not on Wi-Fi, which is good. We're having a crazy thunderstorm, so if I cut in and out, just let me know.
You got
I
it.
just saw my lights flicker. I was like, oh shoot, we might lose
Oh
power.
no!
I thought you're
okay.
I thought you're somebody was playing a prank on you.
Okay, you can continue. What
Someone
you're
just
saying.
popped an influencer light on you. One of those rings.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, but just it seems like it was very seamless, your transition into your role there at Pitt, and it really feels like what you were hoping for, what you just said about coaches that really understand how to get the most out of their defensive backs. Seems like that really was the case with you at Pitt.
Yeah. I would say it was pretty seamless transition for sure. With the ups and downs, with the 3DB coaches, with the 2, 6, and 7 seasons, I feel like I was ready. I feel like I could have went and balled like crazy as a freshman. That's just, my mentality, my work ethic. Like I came in early, I came in early enroll in January. Like I was ready to play. There was, like I said, there was lots of ups and downs. So I was going into, like, when I got my first chance to start that last game of my sophomore year, like it was a lot at first. Like the first possession, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But like
Yeah.
after that, it was like, I'm ready to go. And then once that happened, I'm like, yeah, I can't be on the sideline no more. And that's so when I came to Pitt, and I literally wasn't even coming out of games at that point. And the coach was like, oh, you need to, we need to rest you, make sure you're fresh and everything. And I'm like, I'm all like my mentality from the wrestling background to literally just having the feeling of being on the sideline watching is just like, yeah, you gotta drive me off that field, because I'm coming to hit people every single play. So it was pretty seamless, but it definitely was pretty crazy going in, and my first start having 18 tackles, which is still mind-boggling to me. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you are known for your durability, man. You started every game, didn't you? Right? You didn't miss any.
Yeah, I didn't miss one game. I won the starting job by week 3, and that was my highest tackle game. I went into the backyard brawl at West Virginia and had 18 tackles. So,
ooh, nice. Now let's take us on the draft night here, Donovan. The whole draft process, right? I mean, what kind of teams did you talk to? I mean, did you think you were going to go day 2, day 3? What was that whole process like for you?
yeah, it was pretty crazy. I would say, like recruiting, I kind of hit the whole spectrum late. I was all ACC 2 years in a row, which was great. But then somehow, I want to say somehow, it was God's plan, but I didn't get a combine invite. So I was like, okay, so I gotta go kill that pro day. But before the pro day, I had the Hula Bowl, which I went there, killed it that week, ended up getting a starting job, started for the All-Star game, and then I got a late invite to the Shrine Bowl, went in the last 2 days, killed that, won the starting job again. So I started for both those games. And then I didn't get the combine invite. So I was training at XP, killing it there. And I knew I was gonna run fast, but some reason people were like, yeah, Donovan's not fast, he's not athletic. So like I was like, I gotta go prove him wrong real quick, So I went to my pro day, ran a 4.4, and it was like, oh my gosh. Like I was like, I've been that fast, but when and went did all the athletic stuff, all that really great. But throughout that process, I met with like 25 plus teams. I had a bunch of Zoom calls. I had a visit with the Bills. I had a visit with the Steelers. I was hearing as early day 3. but I was hearing a lot of day 3 to late rounder to PFA. So, but like it was more like I was disappointed it didn't happen. But at the same time, I fell into the literally the most perfect situation I could possibly be in. So, I know every year, guys, becomes like a free for all the last 2 rounds. You're
Yeah.
going anywhere. You might go into a room with 8 safeties, and now people, no matter what, safeties are on the chopping block. But now I got opportunity to go pick where I wanted to go, and meeting with the Browns coaches and everything. There was no better offer or opportunity to go somewhere where I can go, go play in one of the best divisions in the whole NFL and play
So,
my line of game, which is hard nosed defense. Like someone's got to go tackle Derrick Henry. So like
yeah.
I'll do it. I don't care. Like I'll put my face on people all game. Like it's not really a big deal to me. But like I said, the draft, it was so much fun. It was amazing. It was probably one of the greatest days of my life.
There'll be
Just having coach call me and getting all confirmed. I have my hat upstairs. I didn't take it off for about 4 days, but it was definitely a surreal moment. But now it's time to get there and get to work.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
The situation you talked about, the situation, I want to bring that up to you because it's a situation that there's going to be opportunity, and I think there's a lot of opportunity, right? And listen, there's a track record in Cleveland of Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski finding guys in that undrafted preferred free agent market that come in and make an impact. And you're not going to have to look much farther than your own room because Ronnie Hickman was that guy. And Ronnie Hickman's been making plays for the Cleveland Browns for the last couple of years, and he was in the same exact situation. You'll be playing with Grant Delpit, who is another big-time, hard-hitting safety. But, for you coming in, the work ethic and the willingness to get to make the dirty plays, right? I would imagine that everything is on the table for you, and you just want to go in and show everything you can do. But, I think right off the bat, there's so much opportunity for you on the Cleveland Browns. And I think it's on defense for sure. 100%. But man, if I'm like a guy trying to make a name for myself with a team, I think you are joining the league at the very best time for a guy that is going to be asked to contribute probably defensively and on special teams, right?
100%.
Like, I'm sure they probably have talked to you about that, but like the league is so desperately trying to make kickoff returns a thing. And like, so teams really have to find guys that are willing to go out there and make hits, man. And it feels like you're just going to be in the mold of a guy that will go out there and do anything the team asks him to do to start.
Yeah, 100%. That's I already said, you need me to go be in a pulling guard and go take on a DN. I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to help the team. Help the team
proud right now.
I'll do whatever it takes to help the team win, and that's the number one thing. And whether that's special teams, whether that's defensively, whether that's me taking every snap on special teams, no matter what, I'm trying to win, and I think we have a great chance. We're in a great division. Every time we're so close, I feel like we're so close, and we got an opportunity to. From what I've watched over the past years, it's right there. It's right there to be taken, and I want to do whatever it takes to help them, make that leap.
I have one more question for you, Donovan, because I always think this is fascinating to ask and to talk about for a kid that's just about to join. You're realizing a dream right now, and I think it's so cool to talk to you while you're doing it. But a lot of times you get to this draft process, you talk to kids that have signed with teams, and they're getting ready to get their NFL career started. And it almost feels like a culmination of everything you've ever done, when the reality is the hardest thing you've ever had to do is sitting in front of you, right? Like the hardest work sits in front of you. So what's the mentality for you of joining a locker room and getting into a room with, we got former Pitt Panthers in the locker room, including, by the way, most people don't remember this, but Joe Flacco was a Pitt Panther. Kenny Pickett was a Pitt Panther. There have been some Pitt Panthers for the Cleveland Browns, and you're going to have a couple of on your team now. But getting into a locker room, pro players, turning yourself into a professional, and all the work that's ahead. Like, we talk about the dogs because we're the dog pound, but you got to be a dog to do it. And so just kind of tell us your philosophy on how you're going to be a dog coming into the Cleveland Browns organization.
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like the first thing you got is that mentality, that killer mentality, and I feel like I've had that my whole life. I got a honey badger on my leg. Like that's that honey badger mentality, just like Tyrann Mathieu whenever he did his thing and still doing his thing. Like
And
I'm
if you've
go
ever
out
seen the
there.
video, they don't give a shit.
Oh, they don't. They don't. It's them or their food. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna go kill. And that's my killer mentality. So I'm gonna go, hit people hard, do what I gotta do to, make plays for this team. But, mentality of going in, um, just be the hardest worker I could possibly be and be the best Donovan McMillon you could possibly be. And that's whether that's studying film, whether that's working my butt off, doing what coaches need me to do or whatever. But I push 180% every day, and that's the mentality I'm really going in with, And there's ups and downs with everything, so you just got to be positive, and guys got a plan, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to go ball out and help this team win.
No better way to endear yourself to this city, Donovan, than going and knocking Derrick Henry on his ass. Just so
Yes,
you know.
sir.
Just that's
100%.
the
Putting both shoulders on.
that's the first thing you do. Oh my God, you're going to be a hero and beloved already, man.
Yes, sir.
I just thought of something, and it's going back to your Florida days. I remember something strange and seeing something on the internet about Coach Mullen's wife just smooching all the players before every game. Is that did any of the players find that weird? Is that like did you avoid that? What was that? What was that all about?
No, there was that was one. I think that's more of that's got to be some kind. I don't want to say rumor or anything like that because I love Mrs. Mullen. Mrs. Mullen called me after the draft when I found out I was a Brown. Coach Mullen has been my guy since recruiting, and like he was an announcer for one of my games whenever he's going through the commentating thing. But that family they're amazing. Them and their kids they're amazing. So I don't know where that's ever been heard of or whatever like that. But Mrs. Mullen and Mrs. Mullen and Coach Mullen are one of the most nicest, amazing people that have been in my life, and they continue to root for me every day. And Coach Mullen is literally a text / call away, and he'll be on the phone with me for hours after that. So, and then also Mrs. Mullen's she went to school my rival school in high school. So like we've known each other for a while. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was just curious. I mean, you know how everybody on the internet makes a big deal about things. So I was just wondering.
The internet's a crazy place. That's why I try to stay away from looking at those people because some people are just this world's crazy. But I just look forward and be positive. That's all.
It's a great place. Listen, man, I'm sure this offseason has felt really long already, and it's only the beginning of May. But you talked about it. Friday, you get to put the helmet on. You're going to be in Berea. You're going to be at the facility, and you're going to finally get a chance to get out there and start making some plays and get that NFL career kicked off, man. It has been awesome catching up with you. It's been awesome getting to know you a little bit. I know Cleveland fans, we love to get to know our players and our Cleveland Browns. And, if you could come in here and play the way that you played in college and you bring that mentality, man, the city's going to fall in love with you. And hopefully we can figure out a way to get this team a whole bunch of wins for the next however many years, because we all need it. And you could be a huge piece of that. So Donovan, man, congratulations on everything. Congrats on becoming a Cleveland Brown. And hey, can you just do us a favor and just win a whole bunch of football games for us?
Oh, yes, sir. And thank you so much. Just for having this opportunity to be on with y'all and talk ball, my career and everything. I really appreciate it.
Hey, dude,
well, hopefully we catch up again down the line.
Let's do it again after like week 4, week 5, or when let's do it again, man.
I'm down with whatever. You just let me know.
All right, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Big shout out to newest Cleveland Browns safety, Donovan McMillon, for coming on and joining us and having a little bit of fun talking about himself and his journey to the dog pound. As I said to him on there, the opportunity is there for him. It's a safety room that lost Juan Thornhill. It's a safety room that lost Rodney McLeod when he retired. And so it's a safety room that is looking for help. And I don't know, man, if you saw that they signed this kid, Chad, if you saw that they signed Donovan McMillon and you went and watched film and tape of Donovan McMillon, you got to be nothing but excited because this dude is a hitter. He is not afraid to get in any situation like he talked about. And he just is one of those guys that winds up making big impact plays for a defense. I'm really excited to see what he can do in his time.
Yeah. I mean, well, he welcomes the contact. I mean, he's going. I mean, I don't want to say head hunting, but he's looking to go make a big hit. Yeah, I mean, I was excited. Obviously, I mean, I was pissed. We told him off air. I said I was pissed that when they didn't draft a safety, but when we saw his name was in the was being signed as an undrafted free agent. Yeah, dude, it's. I was excited because, I mean, you look at this kid in his career at Pitt, in his 2 years at Pitt, 2 100-plus tackle seasons at Pitt, and last year he had a pick and 8 pass breakups, which which means he's good in coverage. He's fast. Again, he's like I said, he's not afraid to deliver a blow, and he wants to go hit somebody. I mean, you heard him. He's talking about knocking Derrick Henry on his ass. What better way to kick off the one of us meter than that? So yeah, I'm excited to have this kid on our team.
Just watch your neck, please. Just watch your neck.
Right, yeah.
Going after Derrick Henry, please watch your neck.
Only hit between the numbers. That's fine.
Yeah, fair. Eric Evans was in the comments here, and he asked the question. And Eric, we pre-recorded that, so we couldn't put the question up for Donovan, but he kept asking deep safety or box safety, and Donovan McMillon is definitely contact dude. He's a tackler, man. He's over 100 tackles in each of the last 2 seasons for Pitt.
Oh, huge streak. Sorry.
He forces turnovers, but he's better in coverage than what you would say just a standard box tackler is. Like, yes, he is good in coverage. He's great tackling. Again, if you paid attention to the numbers, for some reason, he didn't get an invite to the combine, which was, I thought, a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But when he went and did his pro day, if you look at his bench numbers, Donovan McMillon would have been the number 1 safety as far as the bench press and just strength at the combine. He did more reps than any safety in this draft cycle, and he ran a 4.4. So there's a lot to like about his game. I think there's still plenty to be developed, which is why he was projected to go late in the draft or undrafted. But I think there's a reason, again, knowing the Browns have a need at safety, I think there's a reason that, I mean, it was moments after the end of the draft that you saw the Cleveland Browns had signed Donovan McMillon. There's a reason they went after him as quickly as they did. Yeah. I mean, the whole during the whole draft process, you saw him. And if you looked at any mocks, you saw him going anywhere from the 3rd round to undrafted. But as if he was an undrafted free agent, they called him a priority undrafted free agent because this kid is way too talented not to be on any, have any sort of contract with any football team, not just a camp invitee. He's a guy that you want on your roster because this kid's going to work his ass off and do everything he can. And he's got a great opportunity on the Browns with a thin safety room. So he's got a great opportunity to make this 53. And I'm really excited. Yeah, absolutely. So big time shout out to Donovan McMillon. A lot of fun getting to know the kid. He was so excited to just come on with us. Yeah. And I think he's so excited to kind of get to know his new city and his new team. And I got the sense he talked about not really having a team, not being a team guy growing up for the most part. And you get the sense that he's excited to have a team, like he's excited to be a Cleveland Brown and have a team that he can jump on the bandwagon with. So I look for that kid to make noise in training camp. And I really look for that kid to endear himself to the city of Cleveland. I think if he turns out to be a good player, he's going to be a fan favorite here for a long time.
I'll tell you what, I didn't expect that, by the way. I just assume everybody that grows up near Pittsburgh, it just grows up a Steeler fan. But no,
they're not all morons.
Yeah, no, they're not all morons, and Donovan's definitely not one of them.
No.
Shout out to his family. I'm just kidding.
No.
But yeah, I was surprised when I heard that. But yeah, he comes in. I mean, again, I talked about the Midwest, being from the Midwest. We know our football out here, right? We know if guys come in, work their asses off, right? And play hard for this city. I mean, even in Pittsburgh, or Detroit, if they play hard here, this city's going to love you. any of these cities out here are going to love you. And so, and I really, truly believe that he's going to do that.
Yeah, 100%. So big time shout out to Donovan McMillon. Now, Chad, you had some issues getting on,
dude.
And
it was literally perfect timing. Like the clock on the pre-show video hit 0 and my internet went bloop. I went, what the fuck?
And so, yeah, these poor people that were on since the start of the show had to just look at my face.
Yeah.
Well, that's tough. That's a tough look.
Yeah.
That might make you asshole of the week just for making them go through that. But we didn't get our show started off right. So, hey, I'm Mike. I introduced myself. Chad's here. That's Garage Beers Chad, but we haven't done our Garage Beers of the week. And so let's jump into our Garage Beers of the week. And Chad,
yeah,
which beer did you grab for your Garage Beer of the week this week?
Man, I had to go quick. So I just grabbed the Simpler Times. Simple, elegant, Simpler Times. Calvin, obsession. Calvin Klein. You know, that's it.
Simple, elegant.
It's a Trader Joe's special.
Calvin Klein. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
You all right?
So you
right?
got that. I, on the other hand, am over here, and I'm in Massachusetts, man. I'm in my place in Massachusetts, and you know the very first. Hold on one second. The very first place I got to go when I'm in Massachusetts is my favorite brewery. That brewery is Treehouse Brewery. You knew I had to go to Treehouse, so we went there last night, and actually we went to one of the coolest parts of the brewery. They've now expanded to like several different places, and so they bought a golf course out here.
Nice.
And they turned the clubhouse into a brewery, but they still operate the golf course, and it's like a beautiful golf course. So we went there, hung out in the clubhouse last night. It was awesome. So I picked up a whole bunch of beer. So I'm drinking. This is called Distant Lands. It's an 8% double IPA, and I feel like I got this for my son.
Okay.
He loves space, and there's like an astronaut on it, and so I thought, hey, we'll do space. We'll do space theme.
Okay.
Today. And so I went with Treehouse. I got people in the comments. Eric Evans, Shinerbach. Can't go wrong with the Shinerbach, the old classic Texas beer. How about Drew and Brick City? Doers and Soda. Where are the bushes? Where are the bush heavies?
Whoa. Well, this Cavs game is stressful. So, yeah, I understand.
Gregory has got a Jack and Coke with a Keystone. Oh, God. Donovan Mitchell's down writhing on the floor right now.
Hate it.
Well, Drew's back. He had some Bush, so I don't know what he's drinking. He's got the Doers now.
Warmed up with it. Okay. He warmed up. Of course he does.
He warmed up. Yeah. Yeah, so listen, man, we got a lot to catch up on. We could talk a little bit more about the Browns if people want us to. Did you see the rookie numbers got released and everybody makes a big deal out of it?
Yay. Saw that. That's a thing.
I love the people that have. If you're one of these people, I'm not trying to insult you, but like, do we really have opinions on rookie numbers?
Not a goddamn one. I do not care. Most of the time, if they won't even be their final numbers either. So, yeah, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I did. Man, I hope more than anything that Martin Emerson has a bounce back season.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope more than anything he has a bounce back season. But to come off of the season that he had last year and then to change your number to number 1.
No, you're giving yourself high expectations there.
That was a lot. That was a lot there. And he asked for the comments that happened when they announced that change. He asked for the comments. I think one of the comments was, "Oh, MJ Emerson just wanted to change his number to 1 more than the number of interceptions he had last year."
Yeah,
it's a tough ask. Listen, who cares about rookie numbers? I don't care.
No, it's jersey numbers. Yay. Cool. Awesome. Everybody's making a big deal. Oh, Shador, Dion is backwards. And I don't know. Stop it. Oh, shit.
Nobody cares.
I didn't realize Siakam made that.
While we talk here for a minute, we are going to live react to this Cavs game because there are just seconds left in this Cavs game. And the Cavs have played so great tonight. But the Pacers just, as they do, just absolutely refusing to go away. Cavaliers are currently up 7 with 47 seconds to go. And man, Donovan Mitchell has put this team on his back tonight, over 40 points. Jared Allen was great, but Jared Allen looks like he's absolutely exhausted. Yeah. Max Strus has been unbelievable in this game. Literally the second best player for the Cavaliers in this game has been Max Strus, of all people. They needed somebody to step up, and he stepped up in an absolutely huge way. Yeah. And the Cavaliers are 47 seconds away, just maybe a couple more points away from taking on from taking this game and going to a 1-1 tie series back into Indiana. And then the hope is obviously that you get Darius Garland back, that you get Evan Mobley back. Yeah. They'll have a 3-day break.
Right. And that's why I just need them to get through these last 47 seconds. Like just hang on. Just hang on.
So now they're up 5 after a putback dunk on a free throw. And the Cavs have the ball, and they are struggling to get the ball inbounds. They finally do. And then an offensive foul is called on Donovan Mitchell. So the Cavs are up 5, and Donovan Mitchell gets called for an offensive foul. And so the Pacers are going to have the ball back with 45 seconds.
Cool.
Man, right now, the end of this game, like the amount of guys just laying on the floor. The end of Donovan Mitchell just elbowed. What's his face? Right. He elbowed Nesmith right in the face.
Little revenge.
Yeah. The end of this game is taking for fucking ever.
Yeah. Yeah. So jersey numbers, whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm not. We could be done with the Browns. It's fine. There's nothing right now. There's nothing going on with the Browns.
Right.
Outside of random stuff that we're going to talk about, like, is Shedeur Sanders' camp attacking Browns media, which I think is the dumbest thing of all time.
Yeah.
And
then rookie camp, and then there's going to be so many, like,
maybe they'll give us some stuff to talk about during rookie camp, and we can hit on that next week. But for right now, I mean, we got the Cavs going on, so we'll react to that. But Chad, I wanted to get into the other stuff going on because we're right in the middle of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we've had incredible action. I wanted to dive into the Stanley Cup playoffs, Chad, because I mean, when you talk about what we've seen over the last couple of days, when you talk about a game 7 that saw the St. Louis Blues up by 2 goals with like 3 minutes left, and the Winnipeg Jets tie the game with 1 second left on the clock, and then win the game in overtime. I mean, that was magic, man. That building was unbelievable.
Oh, it came unglued. I mean, and even like the last couple of shots that they made, they whiffed on it, but Cole Perfetti was just in the right place at the right time to be able to redirect that, and Binnington whiffed. Binnington whiffed on it, and I love sports rule, right? Like fucking
sports are good.
The playoff anything rules, because everything is just taken up 10 notches, and it's the best, man. Like it's what sports are all about. It's what you wait all year for, right? I mean, the NBA season, the NHL season, I mean, it becomes a big time grind. And I know the NFL season, like, it is also a grind, but it's only 16, 17 weeks long. So it feels, like a grind. And it's just, but it's those kind of plays, what you wait for all season long. And it's just awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And just the intensity, and like that game was so great. And you had a game 7 with Colorado and Dallas, and that was awesome. And man, the first round was unbelievable, as right now the Cavaliers are taking a timeout because they're struggling to just inbound the basketball. They did get Indiana to run 20 seconds off the clock on the next possession, but Indiana did get a bucket. Finally, they scored a layup. So we got a 3-point game with the Cavaliers and the Pacers. The Cavs have the ball. They just took a timeout because, again, they can't inbound the ball. And right now they're struggling to even hang on at this point. So, and you got to hope, luckily for the Cavaliers now, we're in territory where I don't know if Indiana is gonna let another possession play out or if they're going to just start fouling. So luckily for the Cavaliers, they should be able to get to the line here. But man, whew.
So the last 27 seconds are going to take about 7 hours.
Well, right now we're in a freaking commercial again.
Yeah.
So let's go through, Chad. You did your preview, but second round NHL matchups, man.
Yeah.
It starts off. We had a good game going tonight. I didn't see the score. I've been so laser focused on the Cavaliers. But we had a good game going tonight with Carolina and Washington. What's that score at right now?
Tied 1-1 late in the third. They're about to go to overtime, man. Yeah.
Tied 1-1. How about the game? Let's start with the game last night.
Yeah.
Game 1.
Yeah.
Toronto and Florida. And Toronto had a pretty healthy lead in that game, and Florida stormed back.
Pretty healthy lead, and the Panthers did Panther things. I mean, the Panthers are probably the most physical team. They're not the most skilled team, but they are the most physical team in the league right now, and they just love to suffocate you. They just love to hit you hard. And the biggest thing for Toronto, but the biggest thing for Toronto came out of that game. Stolarz got elbowed. The starting goalie for the Maple Leafs got elbowed in the head, and he was puking over the bench near the third period. He was taken out on a stretcher. He was hospitalized. That's the biggest takeaway with this game, because of that, the backup goalie had to go in. The backup goalie had to come in, Joseph Wall, and he gave up 3 in the third. But luckily, Toronto was able to come away with the win, scoring that goal late. So, yeah, what a win for the Maple Leafs, and this might be their year. And of course, they're going to call a fucking foul. I hate the NBA so much.
So the Cavs,
I hate the fucking NBA.
12 seconds left. The Cavs turned the ball over out of the timeout. They couldn't get the ball in, and then they called the worst foul on Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell goes straight up. They call a foul, and Halliburton makes one free throw, misses the second. Indiana gets the ball on the offensive rebounds. Now with 5 seconds left, Indiana's got a shot. Halliburton shoots a 3, and he makes it. Halliburton just hit a 3 with 1 second left, and he made it, and the Indiana Pacers are going to win this game.
I'm behind you. So I'm still at 12 seconds left.
The Indiana Pacers just won the basketball game on a Tyrese Halliburton 3 as the Cleveland Cavaliers turned the ball over and over and over and over and over again down the stretch. The Cavaliers couldn't get the ball in. They turned it over. Halliburton missed a free throw, got his own rebound, and Cavaliers had plenty of chances to win this basketball game. But in the end, Halliburton, with 1 second left, hits a three-pointer, a step-back 3 over Ty Jerome, and the Indiana Pacers have a 2-0 series lead.
Well,
man.
Got 3 days off. That's all I really have to say about that.
The Cavaliers, I understand that they may have been exhausted, but the fact that the Cavaliers couldn't execute an inbounds play down the stretch.
Yeah.
The fact that they couldn't execute an inbounds play. Like that can't happen, man.
This was going to be with everybody missing, we knew this was going to be a grind of a win tonight. But man, with the way they played this game tonight, you thought that they were going to come away with a win, and they just didn't. They just too many mistakes down the stretch.
Hey, Joe. Joey's here.
Hi. Sorry,
what's up, buddy?
What's up, boys?
That's bad timing on you arriving.
Yeah, man, dude, I had a meeting at 6, and the Cavs were rolling when I left. I just caught the end of the game there, and that sucks. Man, I feel like we've had, and I don't know how that last quarter shook out, but we've had some really dominant Donovan Mitchell performances that have just resulted in nothing.
Tonight is a really good example of that. Donovan Mitchell was unbelievable in this game. We talked about it. Donovan Mitchell was unbelievable. Max Strus was unbelievable in this game. He had 23 points. Jared Allen 22 points. But I got to tell you, man, I smashed him in my recap video 2 nights ago, and I may smash him even harder tonight. if any semblance of a decent player would have come out of Ty Jerome, the Cavs would have ran away with this game.
Yeah.
Ty Jerome
he's been ice cold.
Ty Jerome has just played two of the worst basketball games I have ever seen anybody play.
You know, you get through that first series, and the talk is, oh well, the Cavs, might not be able to afford Ty Jerome now. Like that could be the product of the success here. Is he's going to be too expensive of a player because he was going off. Who did we play in the first series? Oh, the Heat.
Yep.
And he might have just played himself right out of that contract.
I just don't. Man,
Oh, come on. You can't be a sourpuss the rest of the pod, Mike. Let's go.
Sourpuss. Let's talk about beer. I got a beer. Hey.
So do I.
Switch it up. Boys, we got another Seattle brewery here. We got is this Seattle actually? It's a great question. Yes, it is Seattle. Red Hook Brewing. Just a fantastic brewery. This is Big Ballard Imperial IPA. And it says, "You sure?" Oh, it's backwards. "You sure? You betcha."
Wow.
On it. I said that's a nice looking beer.
I like that. I like that logo with like the 1920s. Like, see, this is the Big Ballard. See,
yeah, you sure? You betcha. It's a Big Ballard.
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
Yeah, see,
enter skibbity.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. 2 for 2 with the Seattle beers, boys.
Let's go. Okay.
Right. Shout out.
Yeah. What a boy.
All right. So listen, let's go back. I got to get off of basketball for a minute. Let's go back to hockey. We're talking about hockey. We were talking about the Toronto Florida game yesterday. It was awesome. Tonight we got an overtime game coming. Carolina and Washington. Let's talk about a number 1 seed that's struggling. Washington having a tough time with Carolina. I knew this was going to be a good series.
Yeah.
Carolina could just get their guys. If they could just get enough out of their guys, they can compete absolutely with Washington.
Yeah, 100%. But that's the thing is, it's when they need it most. It always seems like I think this is Carolina's problem. Honestly, is they are a well-rounded team. They go 4 lines deep. They have one of, if not the best defenseman in hockey right now, in Jacob Slavin, and he's a shutdown guy. They have enough offensive firepower. They have solid goaltending, but it always seems they don't have that guy, right? That whenever they need a play, they just don't have that guy to make it. And I think that's what's really cost them in the playoffs these last couple of years. And it's going to be a tough test against Washington, but Washington has that guy in, the best goal scorer to ever play the game. So yeah, I think this is going to be a long series because Carolina is good enough to win a few, but I got to go Caps in 7 here just because of that star factor, the guy that when they need a play, they can get it from Ovechkin.
Real quick, because we didn't call it. Go back. We talked a little bit about that Florida and Toronto series, but you saw Toronto play a really good game against the Panthers. So what's the projection here? Do we think Toronto can take the Panthers out of the playoffs?
What was surprising about that game is how physical Toronto was.
Yeah.
Like you would expect that series, and I mean maybe it'll shake out a different way in the other games we'll play here. That's gonna go 6 or 7. But like that's Florida's saying, like they should be out physicaling anyone that they play. And Toronto, kind of had their way with them, especially in that first period. The big, dig to Toronto is like their star players need to show up, and they kind of did. I think if they show up, they got a great shot.
Yeah, if they play up to their potential, I think Toronto definitely has a shot. But I don't think they're going to be able to out physical this Florida team for a full series. So they are going to have to show up. And I'm worried for Toronto that if Stolarz is out, which it looks like he probably is, because anytime you have a concussion, anytime part of your concussion symptoms are puking just over and over and over again, that's a pretty big one. And so if Joseph Wall is starting for Toronto the rest of this series, I feel a little bit worried for them. But if their stars are able to stay healthy, avoid the bullshit, as far as like the physical ratty play that style of play that Florida likes to play. If they're able to avoid that and play up to their potential, this could be Toronto's year. If Toronto's able to make it past Florida, I think they win the Stanley Cup. But it's going to be a long grinding series for them.
All right, then go over to the West because we are just now starting to see some Western Conference round 2 playoff hockey. And so we got the Golden Knights and the Oilers. I feel like these two teams, when we're talking about like second round playoffs, you just before the season starts, just pencil these two teams in as teams that are just gonna be in the second round of the playoffs. And they're going up against each other. Just kind of preview this season as that game just started like 2 minutes ago. So let's preview this series. The Oilers and the Golden Knights facing off.
Do I say you want to go, Joe? Or
Go ahead, Chad.
Listen, the Oilers they've got to be better defensively, and Stuart Skinner's got to be better if they have any chance in this series. They have all. It's kind of this has kind of been a lot of Edmonton Oilers teams of the past, right? They have all the firepower up front, even when they had and it goes all the way back to the lottery line in Nugent Hopkins, Taylor Hall, and Jordan Eberle. They had all the firepower up front, all the offensive firepower you could think of to score goals. But when they constantly have to win games 6-4, 7-5, 6-5, and they constantly have to come back, it works. That works against teams like the Kings. Like you can win series against teams like the Kings, but a team like the Vegas Golden Knights, who are a much more well balanced team, come at you in waves. And is one of the best zone defensive teams in the league. It's not going to work. Stuart Skinner is going to have to be better. Put it this way, guys: the Edmonton Oilers beat the Los Angeles Kings in 6 games with a goalie who had an .867 save percentage. That's not good. That's not good at all. If you know anything about hockey, that's not good. And you're going to have to. Stuart Skinner is going to have to be much better. They're going to have to be much better defensively. Losing Ekholm, I hope it's not for the series, but Ekholm is their best defender. So if they don't play better defensively and Skinner's not better in net, Vegas is going to win this one in at most 6. At most.
Yeah,
you're a Western Conference correspondent now.
Yeah, sure am. I get the Canadian channels here. I've been watching what was the game?
You've been watching Sportsnet, eh?
Yeah, I've been watching CBC.
You
The Dallas, Colorado. No, the Winnipeg St. Louis game. We'll watch the Canadian broadcast on.
You get Hockey Night in Canada, eh?
Yeah, Edmonton's tough. But I just feel like the Knights aren't the same team. Like they are just like not playing at the caliber that they have in past years. And I'm not sold on the Knights this postseason. And I feel like Edmonton will find a way. Like I don't understand the stamina of that top line in Edmonton, but like you can just put them out forever. And they just keep playing, and they keep playing at a high level. And like, I feel like they can wear down this Golden Knights team. So, I think it's going to be a high scoring affair on both sides. But I think Edmonton walks out of this one in 6.
Okay. All right.
All right. And then we got our last series, the Winnipeg Jets coming off of just one of the great Game 7 wins of all time.
Can we just talk? We take a moment for the 2 Game 7s we had this weekend and how blessed we were as a hockey community.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, the Dallas Mikko Rantanen and the revenge game of a century.
Yeah, what a story that was, right?
What an incredible story. I mean, we literally had gone to dinner with like 11 minutes left in the third. I was like, well, I mean, it's over, right? Nope, that was not over. And then the Winnipeg game, 2 goals with 2 minutes left to tie it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then the multiple overtimes and there's just any sports that have overtimes with golden goal situations are just the best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That pop, that sound when a home team, especially Winnipeg, again, anytime Winnipeg is in the playoffs and like Columbus isn't, I'm just going to root for Winnipeg because you just, as a Cleveland person, you feel for a city that had their team taken away from them, and then they got their team back, and those people of Winnipeg just deserve to have winning hockey up there because of all the bullshit that's happened with their team. And so the noise that happened when that goal went in what was it, double overtime to win the game, golden goal. I mean, I got goosebumps because I can just hear it in my head now.
Yeah.
How amazing that was.
Yeah.
So what's Winnipeg's, what's their prize for winning that incredible game? The Dallas Stars. And that is a very difficult prize to walk away with. So boys, talk about that series.
I think it's one of the better matchups, like even-keeled matchups. I feel like, I mean, Dallas is a team that is just built for the playoffs. Like, they are just a wear you down kind of team. Winnipeg's coming off like a kind of a weird performance against the Blues. Like, the Blues are that team. There's always one each year that just like is shit at the beginning of the year, and then they just catch fire towards the end. You just don't know what you're going to get out of them. You got the bad Blues in the first 2 games and a really good Blues team the last 5 games of that series. It's tough to judge why Winnipeg was not running away with that series, but I kind of feel like they got some good momentum with that win. I'd love to see them carry that over against Dallas. I think that's another deep series. I don't know if they can, either team can handle that, but I think that one could go 7 easily. Winnipeg on top. Give me the Canada teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to go back to that Rantanen thing for a moment because, like, what a storyline. That comeback just started 3 minutes earlier in the third period than the St. Louis game started. But just what a revenge game. I don't know if there's a better one, but and then you talked about the overtimes, like especially when you don't have a dog in the fight. Overtime, like hockey and basketball, overtime any sports is just so much fun to watch.
Except football.
Again, when you don't have a dog in the fight. Otherwise, it's just the most stressful time in your life.
It's not the night to talk about stress. Cavs in 6.
Yeah, but this Dallas and Winnipeg series, the X factor here for me is that Dallas is going to get Heiskanen and Robertson back. They beat the Colorado Avalanche in 7 games without their best forward and their best defenseman. And Dallas is a deep team in general. If anybody who's a hockey fan out there knows, like, getting Heiskanen back is like getting, Cale Makar back for the Colorado Avalanche, right? And Robertson is just an all-world forward for Dallas. So I really think that Dallas is going to take this one. I'm going to say 6 because I just think they're a much deeper team. I think they're a much more talented team. Dallas relies on Hellebuck too much, Winnipeg relies on Hellebuck too much. I don't think, and I think Dallas is just going to put an incredible amounts of pressure on them. And these are both 2 teams that have a lot to prove in the playoffs, and I just think Dallas's best is way better than Winnipeg's best, and I think Dallas takes this one for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I am going to be Mr. Team Canada guy until one of these freaking Canadian teams breaks through and wins a cup, right?
They're due. They got to do it.
Having said that, I'm going to be shocked if Dallas isn't the team that raises the cup at the end of this year. I'm going to be of all the teams that are left, I will be shocked if Dallas isn't the team that raises the cup. I mean, they have everything, and they're good at everything, and they've got lines and lines of everything.
Yeah,
that are good at everything. It's just it's really impressive to watch. I mean, the fact that Colorado took them 7 was wildly impressive, but I don't think that is a statement on whether or not they're going to succeed the rest of the playoffs. So yeah, little breakdown, man. These playoffs have been amazing, though. They've been unbelievable to watch. And again, if you're not watching now, flip your TV on while you're watching us and put on this Carolina versus Washington game, because Carolina is looking to stun the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference and take a game 1. Boys, let's take a quick little break here and do our little mid-show section, our mid-show segment, our asshole of the week. And I don't know, boys, who's got an asshole of the week? Who's been an asshole this week that you want to call out?
Had a pretty good week, boys. I haven't come across a lot of assholes.
Okay, great.
Give me a second. Yeah.
Chad?
I'll just go with the NBA in general, just because I'm just mad. Like I'm don't even really have like a real reason. I'm just mad at what I just saw. You know, it's probably like a lane violation on Tyrese Halliburton that they just missed. Like they're gonna come out with some what do they call it? Like the all last 2 or last 5 minute report that's gonna be like, oh sorry, the refs. Like they're gonna do that. They're gonna say, try to make us feel better, but they're not. So yeah, just screw you, NBA. I mean, not really, but also screw you.
So I was trying to think of a different one because this is just really bad timing on this one. But my asshole of the week was going to be Tyrese Halliburton's dad.
Yeah.
Did you see the story when the Pacers beat the Bucks to advance in the playoffs and Tyrese Halliburton's dad got in Giannis Antetokounmpo's face and like taunted him out on the floor?
Yeah, like walked all in the middle of the court. Like
yeah. And like listen, I don't know that there's a guy in the NBA that's more likable than Giannis. I know he plays for like a division rival, and I know he's been a rival of the Cavs forever, but like you can't not like Giannis. Like every time he talks, he says something smart, and like when you listen to him, you're like, I like listening to this guy talk. And so for this dude to get up and get in his face and start talking shit, that he was my asshole of the week. It just really bums me out that Tyrese Halliburton just hit a game-winning 3 against the Cavs because that now it makes my asshole of the week look petty. It's not meant to be petty. It's not meant to be petty.
I think maybe I think it was ESPN that reported like LeBron James missing the Met Gala because of his knee injury, like as like a breaking news report. I think that's going to be it for me. I think it's just a waste of my time, waste of my brain space. Get off my feed. I don't care. Who does?
That's gonna be it for me.
I have another one.
Oh God!
Get out of here.
Carolina with the overtime winner.
Let's go.
They take game 1 over the Washington Capitals.
I really love Carolina. I mean, like I secretly like if there was a team I was rooting for, like you guys are Canada guys, I'm Carolina, just because that team has been so good for so long. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. I love Carolina. I hope they advance.
What were you saying? What were you giving your second asshole of the week, Chad?
Yeah. I just thought of one. Whatever dipshit fan is suing the NFL for $100 million for emotional distress over the Shedeur Sanders slide into the 5th round. What's the matter with you?
I hope he wins.
I'm so broken up. I cannot believe you have no idea. I haven't come out of my basement for weeks just because Shedeur slid into the 5th. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. All right, those are our assholes of the week. All right, boys, we've had a minute to let everything sink in, so let's bop back over to the trending topic of the world. So the Cleveland Cavaliers now face a 2-0 series deficit against the Indiana Pacers, and the series shifts back to Indiana. I'm going to say this. I've had a minute to think. If the Cavaliers can get DeAndre Hunter back, if the Cavaliers can get Darius Garland back, we'll see about Evan Mobley. Things don't sound great. It sounds like he's having trouble putting weight on
He looks
his
a little
foot.
limpy out there.
But even if they can get 2 of those 3 guys back, I mean, Mobley's very important, but man, if they can get 2 of those 3 guys back, I'm still riding with the Cavs in this series.
In my mind, they've already lost.
What's that?
In my mind, they've already lost.
Nah, I'm still, if they can get those guys back, like think of what the Cavs did this entire season. To think that they can't, I think they could take 4 straight games from the Pacers. They just got to get that one. They got to go out in game 3 and get that win. and you go out and get that. It's kind of like right now the Cavaliers and Ty Jerome are like in a symbiotic relationship. Ty Jerome's that guy that just needs to see a shot or two go in, and there's no shots going in. But once he sees a shot or two go in, then a lot of more shots start falling. Cavaliers just need to see that win. They need to go out against this Pacers team, and they need to impose a little bit of their will on the team, and they need to see that win. So I know how devastating things feel tonight, especially the way this game went. The Cavaliers had a 20-point lead multiple times throughout the course of this game, in a game where you didn't have Evan Mobley and Darius Garland and DeAndre Hunter, and you had the worst of Ty Jerome. And still you played well enough to put yourself in a position to win. And it took a total collapse down the stretch to lose the game. But you're going to get 3 days rest. Hopefully you can get 2 of those 3 guys back. And if you do, man, there is no team in the NBA that I am more confident that could come back and win 4 out of the next 5 games than the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I'm still riding with the Cavs. I still think they're going to win this series.
I mean, I hope you're right, but I mean, my biggest fears of this series have been realized, right? I mean, the Pacers, they're not a good defensive team. They're not at all. They're not a very good defensive team at all. But they just have a bunch of dudes that just are able to knock down shots. Whenever they just like this eerily reminds me of, to a degree, not like fully, but to a degree, of the Turkey Glue and Rashard Lewis Orlando Magic team.
Yeah.
I just feel like any shot the Pacers are putting up is going to go in, whether they make it or not. So it's eerily similar. And if you remember that, it felt like it didn't matter what the Cavs did. Just any shot that they put up is going in. And that's my biggest fear of this series. So yes, they can get 2 of those 3 guys back, but as long as Indiana keeps knocking down shots, they're going to have a chance in this series. And if you're the Cavs, yeah, I mean, it's gut check time. It is. It's gut check time. Yeah. How are you going to respond? Are you going to go in and lay down? All right. Or are you going to go in and match Indiana shot for shot? I don't know. But all I know is right now, my feeling after these 2 games is any shot that Indiana puts up is going in.
Chad's favorite quote when Chad and I are doing high school football games. Chad's favorite thing to talk about is when it becomes gut check time.
It's total gut check time.
Gut check time.
Gut check time, baby.
Yeah, right.
Gut check that gut.
I think we did a game this year where, like, the very first down of the game, Chad was like, "Oh, it's gut check time for the."
Gut check time. Always gut check time in my book.
Yeah. Listen. You're not going to get – I don't think you're going to get anything less out of Donovan Mitchell than spectacular at this point. He knows what's on the line, and he's unbelievable. I think you see a guy like Max Strus step up tonight, and Jared Allen, you know what you're going to get out of Jared Allen. You need – the hope was, okay, Donovan Mitchell's out, but all season long, Ty Jerome has just filled in and been great. I don't think anybody could have seen it coming that Ty Jerome was just going to disappear the way he has in these 2 games. I mean, absolutely disappear. So the return of Darius Garland is important. The return of Darius Garland is important because he needs to go out there and make some plays. And then you need either DeAndre Hunter or Evan Mobley back. One of those 2 guys has to be back. If you can get Garland and one of those 2 guys back game 3, and the Cavaliers, I'm telling you, the tone is going to change. If the Cavaliers go out there and win game 3 in Indiana, the whole tone in the conversation is going to change. Because it's one game at a time, but there's no reason to think. The Cavaliers were great at home. They just lost 2 games at home. They've also been great on the road, though. If you think that the Cavaliers can't go beat this Indiana Pacers team twice in Indiana, I think you're fooling yourself.
Another thing that's deflating about these last 2 games, really, the Cavs have done like everything right this entire season. They've balanced minutes, right? They've rested guys when they've needed to. They've done all of this, and now all of a sudden, here we are. A lot of injured guys don't know if they're going to play anymore. Like they just all of what they did in the regular season was leading up to was getting ready for the playoffs here. was to be healthy for the playoffs here. And now all of a sudden it's like you're missing guys. We have no idea whether they're going to be back or not. Hopefully with 3 days rest, they're going to be. It's just, yeah, I don't know. You're way more of an optimist than I am, Mike. And I hope you're right, but we'll see.
As we talk about the playoffs, by the way, Vegas is making a statement at the beginning of this game against Edmonton. It's already 10 minutes into the game. But as we've been talking about the playoffs, just a brief minute on the NBA playoffs so far. Wild. This second round of the NBA playoffs, the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers are down 2-0 to Indiana. The New York Knicks go to Boston yesterday and beat the Boston Celtics. And then last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder lose game 1 to the Denver Nuggets. Just an absolutely wild start to the second round of the playoffs.
Just goes to show you, kids, you can be doughy and just still go for 42 and 22 whenever you want to.
I know, I do it all the time.
Just work hard, eat your ice cream, and then you too can go for 42, 22, and 6. It's great.
That Hulk Hogan was full of shit.
Yeah. I say, you don't have to say your prayers, but if you eat your vitamins, your ice cream, and then become 7'2" and just like an incredible athlete, you're good. You're good.
And you drink good vodkas.
Yes. Don't call for ball. I see everything. Okay. You call for ball. And everybody knows. Don't worry. I see when you're open, okay?
Yes. No, it's crazy. Listen, these playoffs have been crazy. They have definitely been, both the NHL and the NBA, it's been great, especially during this just, again, you get to this time of the year where we're so worn out about talking football. And now, and especially now, for the next couple of months, there isn't going to be a lot to talk about when it comes to football. And you've got baseball, which, the beginning of the season fun has worn off. And now we're just in the thick of like, all right, just like, especially like talk about the Guardians for a minute. Let's switch over. Talk about the Guardians for a minute. We're just in this phase now with the Cleveland Guardians of I kind of want to fast forward to the trade deadline I don't know what this team is. I do know with their 9-1 win over Washington tonight, they cut their run differential for the season down to a -16, so it looks better. But so far, right now, somebody needs to tell these assholes that they can win game 1 of a series.
But why are we freaking out?
Can somebody tell these assholes that they can win game 1 of a series, though?
Nope, because they can't.
They have the second best record in the AL.
Well, I'm not freaking out. I would like for them to not lose the game 1 of every series and then come back and win the rest of the series. I mean, I
think that the run differential is impressive.
Oh, yeah, right.
Never have I seen a team with the top 10 worst run differential in all of MLB be second place in the division with the second best record in their league.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
We win a lot of games. When we lose them, we lose them real bad.
Yeah,
we win a lot of games.
It ain't worth losing if you don't lose big, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
From the mighty
Ducks.
Get it all out in one go, and then it'll be fine.
I said if this team is going to lose, at least they're going to lose or win in just incredible fashion. Like the walk-off walk, or or dudes just pulling hammies, and our outfielders just hitting him in the back.
Oh,
why not?
Yeah. Listen. It's tough to make out what we should make of them at this point because it's they're winning. Again, they lose game 1 to Toronto. They win the series. They lose game 1 to Minnesota. They win the next 3. They had that stretch. They lost the last 2 games against Boston and that first game against Minnesota, and they were a -25 in those 3 games.
Yeah.
So, in fairness, if you take those 3 games out of the equation, they're like a +10 in run differential on the season.
Well, I think it's they're winning, but it doesn't feel like I don't know. I don't know if this is going to make sense or not, but it doesn't feel like good wins, right? Like like I don't know. Like going forward, it's like all right, like sweet, they won. Like it's a weird feeling, right? It's like all right, they beat the Nationals, but they're going to turn around and get their ass kicked by the Red Sox. But then they'll beat the Blue Jays. But then they're going to turn around and get their ass kicked by the Orioles or Yankees or something.
Well,
Right?
I
Like
feel like
it feels so up and down right now. Like that's why I guess you don't know what to make of it.
I think part of the issue is it doesn't feel like there's that part of this team that you can hang your hat on. Like last year,
Yeah.
you could hang your hat on the bullpen. You had to know the bullpen was going to fall back down to earth a little bit this year because it was historic last year.
Right.
But like even today, they mount this massive comeback in game 1 of this series against Washington. And Cade Smith's the dude that comes in and just gives it all up. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
like it's like the first time ever he's given anything up.
He got beat up in the game. He gave up 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah.
And you know, Clase, I think Clase has been better than he has looked recently.
Yeah.
Even you did the last recap, and I think Clase, like, I think that dude has such bad luck to start this year. Like the infield hits that he's giving up, and like the little soft things that just fall. I think he's fine. But like it just feels like they don't have that one thing that they can. The starting pitching, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Some nights these guys are going to look great, and some nights it's going to be like, oh shit, they don't look good at all.
And I get the heebie-jeebies when Sewald or Junis come in.
Yeah, the bullpen is a little bit more average this year than it has been.
Yeah.
And then the lineup, you don't know whether they're going to score 1 run or 10. Like, it's I think that's part of the hard thing about evaluating this team. They're winning games like that. The important thing is, even though they keep losing games by 10, they keep winning series. That's the important thing. But it's hard to evaluate where you can truly see this team going, because some of the things that you really wanted to see out of this team are not happening. Like this start to this season for Brian Rocchio is disastrous.
Regression.
When he did what he did in the playoffs last year, and it got us all to think, well, man, if he could just be like kind of like that, you got your shortstop. He's nothing like that. He's terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Lane Thomas, just I mean, I know he had his injury, but just non-existent for this team to start the year. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Now, you've had other guys step up. Bo Naylor's been great.
Incredible. Gabriel Arias.
Schneemann.
Arias. Oh, please.
Gabriel Arias. Like,
yeah.
I'm at the point now where it's like, can maybe Schneemann can just be the shortstop and Gabriel Arias can be the second baseman, and we can just roll with that.
It's going that way. It's definitely going. You can't keep Rocchio in there forever.
And you can't trot him out there as a starter.
And you're starting to see other guys come around. Nolan Jones is coming around all of a sudden. That's lovely to see. That should have been the one we all were seeing, because Nolan Jones was hitting the ball hard every time he was up.
He had really good at bats. It just wasn't connecting.
But he was connecting. He was just hitting the ball directly at people. He had no lift on the ball. He was hitting it like 105 miles an hour at the second baseman. And now Carlos Santana's all of a sudden coming around. So
well, he's a notoriously slow starter to begin with.
Right. But I don't know. It's hard to figure out what we should be making of this team, other than maybe, if you want to be optimistic about it, we're at this time of the year where some guys have not played all that well, and they've really struggled to find a lineup that's going to consistently work and all that. And they're still sitting there with the second best record in the American League. So if they can get some of this stuff clicking.
Yeah.
And again, as the season goes on, we may start talking about getting a couple guys back. You may start talking about David Fry returning at some point. Yeah. You may start talking about Shane Bieber's name at some point coming up.
I mean, you're going to. You're going to.
Man, if they could be in this position in a month and a half, and all of a sudden you're talking about David Fry and Shane Bieber coming back,
hey, Nolan Jones, baby. Baby steps to Nolan Jones. Let's get back to 180, huh? Let's get back to up to 180. Then maybe we get to the Mendoza line. We're good.
We'll get there.
Jones.
Where do you put David Fry?
Yeah.
I think you got to take out one of the outfielders and maybe put get Manzardo out. Like first base and DH are like the spots we don't want to lose a bat in the lineup.
Right.
Because you got Santana and you got Manzardo. You don't
Right.
lose either of those. They've been phenomenal.
No, but I think you see David Fry go out into the outfield a little bit. He did that last year.
Yeah.
And remember, David Fry can be kind of a utility fielder. He can kind of play anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting because like Santana, yeah. I mean, he's only playing first yeah. That's tricky.
you'll find a spot for him though. You got to find a spot for him.
Yeah. You can't not have his bat in the lineup.
Woo. All right, Edmonton.
They're
on the board.
Yeah. Stop it. You guys are ahead of me. Stop it.
Oh God, I hate
2-1. Edmonton on the board.
Everyone at Edmonton deserves it except Corey Perry.
What a dish. What a dish from McDavid.
Real quick.
A little sauce, eh, boys? Hey?
We got to go back. We got to go back to a topic. Before we close out the show, we got to go back to a topic we talked about last week. 100 men, one gorilla. So now I want to do it. I want to do we're just going to do it as a team. We're not all going to do it. We're just going to do a team draft.
Okay.
Any human being,
okay,
dead or alive.
Okay.
What is our draft of our top 5 human beings?
Okay.
That we're starting our 100 versus 1 man versus gorilla challenge with.
Do we have a draft order or are we just going?
I think we just
real human beings or
what's that?
Like real human beings?
Yeah, like you can't say fucking Superman.
Yeah, no. Easy first pick. The Mountain from Game of Thrones. Boom. The Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wait, the like zombie version?
No, the actor.
No. What?
The actor.
No.
We're not starting with the actor.
What? No. The Mountain guy. He's a legit world's strongest man guy. Yeah, absolutely.
We're starting with that's the guy.
It's
Gregor Clegane.
Right.
That's
that
not
guy.
His name. That was his name in the show.
Nailed it.
It's not.
Gregor Clegane
right.
was his name in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Him, Magnus Vermagnuson, Mark Henry.
No, I totally disagree with your strategy here.
What?
You're just going with strongmen. It doesn't mean they're going to win in a fight.
No.
I can't say his real name.
Just because they're strong doesn't mean they're going to win in a fight.
Joey, please try.
And I got to listen to the translation.
Please try to say his real name, Joey.
Alflor Julius Bjornsson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alflor Julius
Bjornsson. He's out.
No, because you need a powerful guy. You need a powerful guy in there for sure.
Okay, but you can't. If I'm telling you, you throw 5 of the world's strongest men competitors just because they can lift heavy things.
No,
doesn't mean they're going to be good at fighting a gorilla.
I'm just saying he's in there. We're not doing this in any particular order, but he's in there for me.
I think you pick one of those guys.
Yeah,
I could get on board with Mark Henry over that guy.
Why? What's the difference?
Because I feel like Mark Henry can fight.
Okay.
That guy's he's the world's strongest man.
Doesn't mean he can fight.
He don't need to fight.
Doesn't mean he can fight.
Have you seen his combat ability in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he lost. The only reason he was still alive, the dude died multiple times in that show.
He was 789-1.
He lost in that battle against the guy from wherever, the sand guy. And the only reason that he was still alive is because the guy didn't kill him right away. He taunted about it.
Yeah. Took 100 dudes to kill him.
Dead ass on the floor.
Yeah. No, him, he's a strongest man guy. Fine. Mark Henry, whatever, whoever you want to go with. It doesn't fucking matter.
I've seen Mark Henry fake fight, but I've seen it. And the athleticism matters.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we're doing that. Who else is coming up on this list?
Give me prime Jackie Chan.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Prime Jackie Chan. Well,
what?
Yeah.
Of all the martial arts people you could bring up, you bring up
pick
Jackie
Bruce
fucking
Lee?
Chan.
Yeah, Jackie fucking Chan. Dude, a gorilla's endurance does not have the endurance. If Jackie Chan's out there jumping around and you can tire the gorilla out,
I
he
said
can jump on.
anybody of all, I'm furious right now that you would even bring up Jackie Chan's name over like Bruce Lee.
Oh,
What?
Okay.
No, they're not the same.
Dude,
They're
some
not the
sort of
same.
martial arts ninja fella.
Bruce
Okay?
Lee's a
They're not the
fraud.
same.
He's a fraud.
Bruce Lee's a fraud.
I'm taking Chris Farley, Beverly Hills Ninja.
No. You're taking Chris Farley?
Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja. Don't you
This
remember
makes
that
my
movie?
mountain from Game of Thrones look like the fucking best pick in the
Don't
world.
you remember Beverly Hills Ninja?
Yeah, of course I do.
It's a great movie.
Chris Farley, although I will say this, Chris Farley is definitely the guy you throw out there first, because you know how there's going to be like sacrifices at first. Chris Farley's that guy because he's crazy enough to go in there.
You know what kind of guy? You know what kind of guy I feel like we need?
Huh?
Like I feel like we need like
No.
an old school, like kind of a guy, like a greasy dude that like smokes a ton of cigarettes that you would see hanging out at like a bowling alley. But
Why?
he would like kill you with his bare hands.
All right, wait, pause.
I'm thinking
I'm
like
going to amend the Jackie
Who
Chan
is
pick.
that? Are we just all thinking of movie characters? Like who is
I'm trying
that?
to think of a person. Go ahead, Joe.
No more Jackie Chan. Stipe Miocic. Done.
Stipe on the regular gets knocked out by human beings. What?
No, I mean, like recently, sure.
You need a mix of strength and quickness. So that like Bruce Lee,
Any human
like,
in history.
the
Prime
Mountain.
Stipe.
Bruce
Like, I
Lee,
feel
the
like-
mountain.
I feel like if you could get somebody like the Mountain, all right, go ahead with that guy
Sure.
in front of the gorilla, and you could get Bruce Lee to like climb up its back and like start
Yeah.
gouging its eyes.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, because you need because that gorilla is going to be swinging, and if you got someone with the agility of Bruce Lee that can tire him out, that mountain can jump on top of him and just start pounding his eyes out. His fucking
All right,
eyes out.
who's
That's
kicking the grill in the balls though? Because like the grill is definitely gonna like rip off Bruce Lee because he's a little guy. The
Hornswoggle.
Mountain's gonna be like hitting the head while he's knocking him off. Who's just like the greasy bowler is a great analogy. Who's just like a scumbag?
Like fucking like James Dean. Like, is that who we're talking about?
No, I'm thinking like oh God, I don't know how to describe it. I'm thinking of like
Jack Palance in City Slickers?
but like
Curly from City Slickers?
oh man, Jack Palance might be the dude. Jack Palance might be that guy. I don't know.
Or like Doc Holliday, Tombstone?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Without the tuberculosis, of course.
I'm trying to think of somebody that's like
Doc Holliday sans tuberculosis.
well, I don't know. Can he transmit the tuberculosis to the gorilla?
Maybe. He's your Huckleberry.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of like somebody that would have kind of that like old man strength.
Yeah. You need a mix of power
And
and
who
speed.
also just isn't afraid to fight dirty. That's just
Yeah.
like
How about Paulie from The
We need a
Sopranos?
mafia boss.
okay. All right. I could get in on that. I
need a
don't know
mafia
why I
boss.
can't stop thinking of like some dude in like a bowling alley with like a mustache and he's just chain smoking cigarettes and he's just gonna stand up and just start just like he'll just start ripping nuts.
Hey, kid, come here. I hear you going.
Yes.
I hear you going after the gorilla.
It's like Jake the
and
Snake Roberts.
what's his name?
I feel like prime Jake the Snake Roberts, just a dirtbag.
Prime Jake the Snake Roberts was just chock full of meth, coke, and whatever other drug that you want.
That's the guy I'm looking for here. This is the guy I'm
How's he
looking
going to help? He's not going to help at all. He's just not going to
he's not
feel it
gonna
when his
feel-
arms get ripped off.
for. He's gonna feel no pain. No pain.
Whitey
Him and Chris
Bulger.
Farley.
That's what
Prime
I'm
Jake
thinking of.
Roberts and Chris Farley are the guys you throw in there to sacrifice.
Give me Whitey Bulger.
Whitey Bulger.
Just looking at my bosses.
Yeah. I was thinking of Black Mass. I couldn't remember who Johnny Depp played. But not Johnny Depp, but
Give
Whitey
me-
Bulger.
Give me Tony Montana like after a mountain full of coke.
No, because you can't have weapons. Tony Montana without a gun is nothing.
He's a mob boss.
See, but he's nothing. It's not.
Okay.
If you
Yeah,
ran into
somebody
Tony
can paint
Montana
houses
without a
with.
gun, you'd be like, okay, little guy. Hold on.
about
I
that
just had somebody I was thinking of.
Big ballad.
Ah,
Yeah, see? You sure? You betcha. See.
Sure, you betcha.
You threw me off Tony Montana. Now I've
Otherwise, it's curtains for you, Gorilla. See.
all right. So we need a strong man.
Yeah, you got to have a mix of power and speed.
I like the Bruce Lee pull. I do like the Bruce Lee pull. I think that's a great one.
Yeah. He can 1-inch punch the dude's nuts, the gorilla's nuts, and just take him down.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man, you're not allowed to have weapons. Shit. Okay.
Who are we missing?
All right, so we said 5, right?
What about like Michael Myers?
So we said 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the Mountain. We have Bruce Lee. Michael Myers? That's not a real person.
Are you just going to kill all the people that are on our team?
Yeah, and plus he needs a knife. Michael Myers needs a knife to be effective at anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right, Joe. He'd probably just start attacking everyone.
He's going to kill all the people.
He'll be on the side of the gorilla.
Yeah.
Who else do we get?
I mean, there's got to be a UFC fighter out there that would be like that is a mix of power and speed. Who is that?
What about like
Eric Jones? His nuts are out or something? Like his nuts were out?
What about like early version of Masked Kane from the WWE?
Okay.
He comes straight Hellfire and Brimstone Kane.
Okay. I mean, Glenn Jacobs is a strong dude. I mean, he'd have to retire as mayor of Nashville or wherever the fuck he is. Huh?
Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar. There you go. There's your second strength guy.
Is he too rapey to have on the team, though?
Well, I mean, okay.
I mean, at this point, like if he dies, then that's fine. Like if he's just a raper, like if he dies, then that's fine.
You go first, and then Bjorgen Smorgensman can go second.
So Brock Lesnar, Mountain, Bruce Lee. Who else is pretty agile? Who's like a good parkour dude? Like that just jumps off trees and can like.
Yeah, but they got to be able to like do damage. There has to be damage that's done here.
Let's hire. What's that town in Japan that like hires ninjas?
For what?
Well, yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, dude, you can make like $80,000 if you're a ninja in this like small Japanese town.
Wash the windows? What are you doing?
You're a ninja. Like there's a shortage of ninjas in this like small Japanese village, and you can pay $80,000. Yeah, I swear to God.
I have all the skills necessary for this job.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
Okay.
What about like, all right, what about like, I got one. What about like Snake Plissken from the Escape from New York and LA movies?
He needs weapons.
No way. No, he
yes,
doesn't.
he does.
He will rip your throat out of your throat. He will out of your neck.
He will rip your throat out of your throat.
Wait, can we? All right, maybe we'd see like a strategist, maybe. You know,
like a good game planner. Okay,
good game planner. Maybe we got enough. Whatever, it's as good as it's gonna get. What's one more person gonna do?
I really like my Snake Plissken pull.
What about? Okay, no, not like Hobbs and Shaw. Rock. No, I'm trying to think of more like agile dudes who can do damage. Right? Because we have our power. We have our power in the Mountain and Brock Lesnar.
Do damage.
Huh?
They got to be able to do damage.
Right. Brock Lesnar, the Mountain, Bruce Lee, Billy Blanks. They just tie both ass. Just kick him in the face over and over again.
He will kick the gorilla while he's also teaching your mom how to get back in shape. Billy Blanks. I don't think there's a good answer here.
No, there's not. But I feel like there's a world if like 100 people rush a gorilla all at once, eventually you're gonna get them. I
agree. I still am on Team Gorilla, but I do think that if the gorilla tires out, it just
it's over.
After ripping 60 dudes to shreds, I think if the gorilla tires out, the other 40 are going to be able to take him.
Right. I think so.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're just coming up with the same names here. I just wanted to have the conversation, really. It wasn't really about the draft. It was more about the conversation. And I don't know that we got anywhere.
I think before this fight, though, everybody should have like the OG, like Four Loko, including the gorilla. He gets like 8 of them. Just to kind of see what happens.
Just to set the tone for the night.
Just like 600 milligrams of caffeine and like 10
Remember how it
shots
used to set the tone for you? It's going to do that for this fight.
Oh,
And we're on. And we're on.
and we're on.
I feel like you know who I want to throw out there as the sacrifice guy? Did you guys see the movie Role Models?
Yes. Yes.
Like McLovin and like Paul Rudd.
Yes.
And McLovin is in that LARP society.
Yeah.
Live action role play. Remember the guy that's like that, and he's in like every Paul Rudd movie. Okay. That one guy that's in like every Paul Rudd movie. What's this? A small Japanese.
117. I was gonna say, man, I don't know if I want to live in a town where if you're at the level of ninja, you're only making 80K. Like that's a lot of money, but like for a ninja,
117 grand? Yeah.
Yeah. Good deal. I'm in.
I want the guy from that movie, the little guy that gets real into the LARPing. And he's like, good morrow, sir. And I think he's just going to distract the shit out of the gorilla. He's the same guy that was in I Love You, Man with Paul Rudd that he like tries to be best friends with. And they go to the LA Galaxy game. And he's like, let's go Galaxy. Let's go. Right.
Yeah. But is he going to be like casting spells in the background? And like,
that's what I'm looking for though. I want him to go out there and confuse the shit out of the gorilla and like cast some magical spells as a LARPer.
Imperial or something like
yeah. Right. All right. It's already 10:41. Let's jump out of here. Let's do our last segment of the week, which is our cheers of the week, where we just go around and say something good about something that happened this week. And so, Joe, what do you got? What's your cheer of the week this week?
Boys, I said it earlier, but we've been blessed with no better weekend of hockey than this past weekend of hockey. Like those two game sevens, man. I mean, especially the Winnipeg one. They're both great, but the Winnipeg one, it's like getting a kickoff return on a squib kick when you're down 4 points and there's no time left on the clock, or it's coming back 6 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning in Game 7 of the World Series, or a 12-point comeback in basketball with a minute and a half left. Like, it's just so impressive to watch, and like was cool to watch that game live, and like just love the sport. It's a great time.
Love it. I'm going to do mine. I'm going to shout out this an account on TikTok that has been giving me some really great nostalgia. There's an account on TikTok called Mitch the Panthers Fan.
Okay.
Mitch the Panthers Fan, and it's this dude, and I think he like started his account to be like a sports fan. He's a Carolina Panthers guy. He still talks a lot about the Carolina Panthers, but he started this thing, and it's super popular now on TikTok, where he asked what the greatest TV theme song is. And I don't know that he intended it to be like nostalgic kid shows, but that's what it's turned into. And so every day my timeline just gets flooded with him reacting to videos from like shows that I like, DuckTales.
Yeah.
And like Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Oh, I got one already.
And all these shows that you like, Gummy Bears and Gargoyles and Animaniacs and all these shows. And man, Thundercats, my favorite show, my favorite cartoon of all time, Thundercats.
Nice.
And he's just running through, listening to all these songs and reacting to them, and it's awesome. And it's total nostalgia for like 80s, 90s cartoons, and I've been loving it. So I'm shouting out Mitch the Panthers Fan on TikTok.
I'm gonna suggest mine because my wife and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago. Like, this is literally like it's an incredible theme song with an incredible message, and like we never realized it as kids, but the Arthur theme song.
Oh,
back up the Arthur theme song. Like, it's a good vibe of a song, like good message. Like,
he just reacted to it. He just
no way.
He just did it.
Yeah. Incredible.
Nice.
Yeah. Arthur's the best.
I don't know that. I got to be objective here. I think there's two that sit atop 1A and 1B for me. I've already said them. But I think if you put me like, if you were like, you have to make a decision right now. I don't know that anything beats the DuckTales theme song. I think it's if you're my age-ish, you could still to this day sing every word of the DuckTales theme song.
Yeah.
DuckTales. I don't know if I've
But
watched
I do
DuckTales.
think
DuckTales, Fraggle Rock.
I do think the Chippendale Rescue Ranger song is right there. It's right there.
Goof Troop.
That's 1A and 1B to me. 1A and 1B.
There you go. Perfect.
Chad, what about you? What's yours?
Oh, it's Mother's Day Sunday. So shout out, cheers to all the moms out there. You fucking rule.
I'm so glad I let you go last. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You best.
Hell yeah.
You fucking rock.
Shout out to all the moms on Mother's Day. Have a great Mother's Day this weekend. We love you. And hey, we wouldn't be here without you.
Nope. Sure wouldn't. No.
Damn straight.
All right, let's get out of here. That's been episode 262 of the Garage Beers podcast. Make sure you go follow the show at the Garage Beers on all the socials for all this kind of fun and more. Our thank yous tonight. First thank you goes out to our special guest, Donovan McMillon. What a great interview we had with Donovan McMillon, the newest safety of the Cleveland Browns, and he's going to be looking to make an impact starting this weekend with rookie minicamp. So just keep your eye on Donovan McMillon because I think this is going to be a dude that Cleveland Browns fans are going to come to love, and we loved hanging out with him at the beginning of the show. Big time thank you to the OBR for hosting us. Go follow the show or go follow them online at the OBR and get over to theobr.com and hit subscribe to make sure you're tuned into everything OBR. The Orange and Brown Report is Cleveland's oldest and largest independent Browns coverage site, and they host us and let us talk about whatever we want. So make sure you are tuned into everything OBR. And our biggest thank you of the night. Our biggest thank you of the night is to all of you that joined us live, whether you were live here tonight in the comments and hanging out with us, having a drink with us, or whether you are catching us later on Apple or Spotify or iHeart or YouTube or Twitch or wherever you decide to watch or listen to us. We appreciate you. We love you. And we thank you. That's going to do it for episode 262 for Joey Whalen at Garage Beers. Joe, for Chad Meyer at Garage Beers. Chad, I am Michael Keefe at Garage Beers. Mike, we will see you next week for episode 263 when the Cavaliers have come back and taken a lead in the series. Until then, cheers, everybody. We'll see you later.